We are coming back to you live from the Caloocan Sports Complex for the second game of your MPBL Tuesday. This follows the triple-double performance of JD Marcelino as they got that 40-point victory versus Bulacan. Now we feature Bataan versus Quezon, and there you see the previous best player of the game for the Risers, two-time Diliman College MVP, Robbie Darang. But he will take on yet another MPBL All-Star from Heset Gabo. Now it's going to be the starting point guard of the South Division in front of Mr. Darang in LJ Gonzalez, to be, of course, aided by Judel Fuentes, the leading scorer of the Quezon Huskers in the 6th season of the MPBL. Quezon will look for win number 19, while Bataan will look to get their third straight victory. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Coach Mike Perez, and our courtside reporter is Mika Abesamis. Now, I'll go straight to the point to the previous game of the Bataan Risers. A lot of people were very impressed with their performance, that win versus the Pangasinan Heatwaves, who, by the way, were supposedly on a roll before that game. What convinced you in terms of the performance of the Risers in that matchup?
Well, it's two things, actually. It's the defense that they played. They got 11 steals in that game, but to bring in Yves Sason, James Castro, and Robbie Darang all from the bench is really a genius right there. 74 bench points altogether, and 57 of that coming from this trio of Yves, Robbie, as well as James Castro. 23 points apiece for Yves and Robbie Darang. That was pretty huge. And when you look at the stats, the numbers would really tell you that this was more like a Robbie Darang game. You know, the way that they made their shooting from the outside, the way that they hit shots from threes. They had 10 more made threes, as well as the fast breaks, a plus 14 against the Pangasinan Heatwaves. That's pretty huge considering that win for Bataan.
In the words of Robbie Darang, they played loosely in that game. They really enjoyed, and it was all worth it as they got that big-time victory against the Pangasinan Heatwaves. It might have just been their biggest victory of the season so far. But now we'll talk about the previous outing of the Quezon Huskers, the team which Robbie Darang would try to counter in this matchup. Quezon was able to employ their very own 1-3-1 zone defense versus Bulacan, and it really worked well.
Yeah, it was actually tied in the first quarter, 17-all, but then again, things started rolling for Quezon, outscoring the Cuyas 22-10 in the second quarter and going by as much as 29 leading up to that win. Judel had 15, Simon had 11. Good field goal shooting as usual, 44%. They had seven more three-point makes as well, and controlling the paint and the open floor, plus 27 on fast break points. Really more of Quezon-style basketball.
That was actually their best defensive game of the season, talking about the Huskers limiting Bulacan to only 51 points. They've actually limited 5 teams already to only 50-plus points defensively in their campaign. A testament to how they have played so well on that end of the floor. LJ Gonzalez is back after missing out in their previous game, as he just had to rest for these Huskers. Let's see which team will be able to perform very well here in Caloocan, as now we turn you over to Miguel Perez.
Action continues here at the Caloocan Sports Complex. Tonight's second game features Bataan and Quezon. This is the 2024 Mandy Pacquiao's MPBL Season 6, presented by Extreme. Let's meet our starters. First, 41 Bataan Risers, Kamaya Coast. Starting at guard number 1, Robbie Darang. Also at guard number 10, Jeff Santos. Center number 14, Alex Ramos. Forward number 2, Carl Bringas. And the other forward number 39, Jamil Gabawan. Head coach for the Bataan Risers, Kamaya Coast, is Goody Ilagan. Assistant coaches, Rene Baina, Brian Gorospe, Prince Cruz, Louis Cortina, Marvin Molines, Ogie Gumatay, Frederick Francisco, and Arvin Ginto. Assistant team manager is Shai Ramos Evangelista. Team manager is attorney Gary Palmero. Team owner is Mr. Luis Valenzuela. Now, the starting 5 for the Quezon Huskers. Starting at forward number 77, Gab Panal. Also at forward number 5, Simon Sandagon. Starting at center, number 24, RJ Minerva. One guard, number 13, LJ Gonzalez. And the other guard, number 10, Lucena City Honorable Mayor Mark Alcala. Head coach for the Quezon Huskers is Eric Gonzalez. Assistant coaches Richie Tixon, Nash Varcela, Ed De La Torre, Luis Velasco, Jonathan De Guzman, and Bernard De Guia. Team manager is attorney Don Capulan.
We have our starting
Team
fives brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Play Max, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. Robbie Darang, Jeff Santos, Alex Ramos, Carl Bringas, and Jamil Gabawan will begin for Bataan. And then LJ Gonzalez will start alongside Mayor Mark Alcala, RJ Minerva, Simon Sandagon, and Gab Banal for the Quezon Huskers. Robbie Darang and the rest of the Bataan Risers will look to follow up their biggest win of the season so far. And I say that because Pangasinan is the only team that they beat who has a better record than them.
That is right. And that clearly was a statement game para dito sa Bataan. There were a lot of games that were pretty close that they could have won. Pero it's a good thing that this win came against Pangasinan.
Let's see if they can translate their momentum. But it actually worked out well off of the jump ball for them as Bringas was able to score with a layup. Here's Gab Banal. Unable to score. Rebound to Gabawan.
The pace is going to be a key part of the run of the Bataan Risers, especially with Robbie Darang right in there. And interestingly, they've got Darang and Yves Sasson right now starting instead of coming off the bench.
Sazon is gonna come off the bench.
Sorry,
It's
that
only
was
Darang starting. Jeff Santos is starting.
Jeff Santos, right? That was Jeff Santos.
Baseline inbound for Carl Bringas. This is Jamil Gabawan attacking. He barged onto Gab Banal, and it's a defensive foul.
Would be good to see then how Robbie Darang would respond to, how LJ Gonzalez plays.
Oh, yes.
Speed-wise, that's going to be a good battle right there.
It actually is a nice opportunity for Robbie to make another statement. For you to be able to beat Hesed Gabo in your previous game, and now you have a chance to win against LJ Gonzalez. Quite a handful for you. Why not take the challenge as Jamil Gabawan shoots, and that was short. Release pa lang, alam mo na. Here's LJ. Gonzalez has been nursing a foot injury.
And so he's not 100% today.
Yeah, it just doesn't show off when he plays.
Oh, yeah. Parang ganun pa rin, Wala pinagbago.
Kaya may kaunting load management na nagaganap in the season for LJ. Nice speed. And this is what Coach Louis talked about in the previous game of Quezon. He's been wanting to see the old version of RJ Minerva back. And that version includes his dishing ability to his partner Simon Sandagon.
Yeah, and I feel that he's earned that reputation to be a good finisher to the cup. And so you see secondary defenders coming in to help out on that drive. And he definitely will have another guy that's free next to him. And, the ability to give it up would be good.
Minerva is a do-it-all man for the Quezon Huskers. So andyan ang scoring, andyan ang passing, but he also leads the team in rebounding at 6.5 boards per game. And wow, this
There's
is
your
a nice
1-3-1, right?
Yeah,
I
a
was
nice
gonna say.
showing for us.
Right.
It took some time for them to deploy that versus Bulacan, but they're starting with it.
Well, after all, they've got the right personnel to be using this kind of scheme. Guys who are very athletic, got good footwork and foot speed. You see that finish right there by Mayor Mark.
And he's usually the guy on top of the 1-3-1.
Yes.
Like this. 4-2.
And usually sa ganitong 1-3-1, the corners would be the overloaded side that you can start the point of attack. And you got to exploit that.
Darang, nice pass onto Jamil Gabawan.
That one a little bit overloaded yung backside ng 1-3-1. Two guys down there. Finishing it off with Jamil.
Did Robbie Darang play for Renzi Bahar specifically?
In Diliman, yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Coach Renzi loves using the
Yes,
1-3-1.
right.
So Robbie should be used to breaking that down.
Correct. And we've seen that at times in the UCBL and the UCAL where they employ that as well against the other teams.
Look at him.
No.
Just operating against it as Alex Ramos wasn't able to convert, but he got his own board. Bringas feeds onto Jeff Santos. No good. Another offensive rebound. Ramos still no good. And yet another board for Bataan.
And the offensive boards have really been flowing here for the Risers, giving them extra possessions and possibilities to make shots like those.
Jeff Santos able to convert from downtown. That's his first 3 points in this game. Santos did play well. Had 17 versus Pangasinan. And he's had a nice stretch lately. He has reached double figures in 4 out of his last 6 games. Jeff Santos again. Back-to-back threes for him.
And which really just, shows you that a 32% three-point shooter he is this season.
And this is your point about him starting alongside Robbie Darang.
Yes.
The damage that they can do. And Yves Sazon can come off the bench and score as well.
And you see a different flow, I guess, to the game of Robbie Darang right now. He's got that confidence coming off that good win against Pangasinan. Carry over, kumbaga, yung feeling.
The last 2 wins of Bataan were against Pangasinan and Mindoro. In both of those wins, Robbie Darang was the best player and he scored 20 plus points in those 2 outings. With that, I asked him, nararamdaman mo ba na kailangan mo talagang umiscore para mabigyan ng pagkakataong manalo ang iyong koponan? Ang sabi niya, oo, but at the same time, I also feel the responsibility to dish out that ball. In short, offensively, he knows that he has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders as this 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
And that really is just Robbie going back to his Diliman playing days. I mean, yun ang talagang primary responsibility to first be a scorer and a point guard to dish and score. So, alam niya yung responsibility na kailangan pa-scoring ko rin yung iba dito because he has teammates there that can actually hit shots from the outside in the same way that he has Santos, James Castro, these guys can actually score from 2. Iba lang yung personnel pero it's the same capabilities.
James Castro was another guy who scored in double figures for them versus the Heat Waves. Let's hope that he can be consistent with this high level of play as LJ Gonzalez gives it up to Mark Alcala who fires. No good. Nice box out by Alex Ramos. And here's Robbie Darang. Bataan is up by 6. Bringas stopping and popping. No good.
And the rate that they are taking the threes right now, it shows a lot of confidence on that shot.
Confidence as well from Gabanal, although he misfired. Nander Cannon could not get to it. The ball goes to Bataan.
Actually, ang Quezon is not a surprise for them to be taking a lot of shots. They're 4th in the league when it comes to 3 points attempt, roughly at 30. -5 dyan sa stat line na yan, itong Bataan. So, feeling mo talaga parang kung anong ginawa natin sa Pangasinan, gawin ulit natin dito sa game na to.
But for Quezon, their 3-point attempts might actually go higher because now Francis Tamzi is back in the MPBL. This will be his first appearance in our league since Game 3 of the South Division playoffs, that series between Quezon Province and Zamboanga last year.
Yeah, at saka i-qualify natin si Tamzi is not only good for 3-pointers, perimeters, decision-making, ball handling, defense. He can cover all of that.
Tamzi almost got the board there. He's coming off of a foot injury, a bone spur at that, as Simon Sandagon was able to score.
Yeah, yan ang mabigat kay Simon Sandagon to be able to secure that defensive rebound and be the point guard also in open floor. No need to look for any point guard. I can be the one to make the decision and finish if need be.
By the way, he's going to bank on that in the upcoming All-Star game against the taller front line of the North as Yves Sazon just scored.
Now, this three of Darang, Sazon, and Santos, this is deadly from the outside. And you bring in yung effort ni Jamil Gabawan in the paint, could push the ball, just like what we're seeing now here.
Robbie, pass inside, Jamil spins and feeds. Recovery for Bataan, Darang. Staying patient, Robbie found an opening, layup, basket and one.
This is clearly two-time MVP, UCAL, Robbie Darang that we're seeing right now. I mean, he's so comfortable. The way that he moves, it sure looks like he's playing in college right now. And with that right-hand finish, just classic Robbie Darang.
And I'd be interested to see him be consistent attacking the defense of Quezon, even when Quezon switches onto different schemes defensively.
That's right. And that to me is key. You know, the way that he responds to iba-ibang sistema ng depensa na ipapakita sa kanya ng Quezon. Kasi definitely expect mo yan. Nakakascore ka dito, palitan na ibang depensa.
Yes.
Tingnan natin kung paano ka umiscore.
But as long as he's seeing the 1-3-1, he should be familiar with it. He has exploited it, and now Robbie Darang has increased the lead of Bataan to 9. This is Thomas Torres. Thomas facilitated so well versus Bulacan. Cyrus Torres misfires. Rebound to the Astro Boy. And here's Robbie Darang.
Seal underneath.
It's now a man-to-man, right?
Right.
Mark Acuno. No good. Mitchell Minus. Unable to get the board clearly, but the possession is still with Bataan. Welcome back, by the way, to Mitchell Minus as well.
That's right.
Off of an ankle injury. Robbie's at the corner. His three is short. Rebound Minus. And that's what he does.
Minus is one of the more efficient shooters para dito sa Bataan. Shooting 57% from the field, is 60% from three. And it's like what you said, it's good to have him back.
Minus is the third leading scorer of Bataan after all, behind Ives Sazon's 13 a game and Rafi Octobre's 11 per outing. Mitchell averages 10 per game here in the MPBL. It's an 11-point advantage.
Back at the Caloocan Sports Complex for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abesamis. Now I asked Coach Frederick Francisco and the rest of the coaching staff of Bataan what they liked the most against that win against Pangasinan. At sabi nila sa akin, well, for one, their offense was finally humming together and they did it with smiles on their faces and a lot of fun. That confidence-boosting win brought about good practices throughout the week. Their ball movement, everyone was in a good mood. Playing to their potential sent a message to the strong contenders, champion teams, champion coaches that this is a different season, a much more competitive one, which was, by the way, acknowledged by their opponent today, Coach Eric Gonzalez, who reminded his boys that there's no room for complacency against these very confident Risers, as we can see. Migs and Coach Mike.
We can definitely see it. The body language is completely different.
Oo, totoo yun. Ramdam na ramdam mo eh. Tayo dito, you know, the way that they're moving, the body language. Body language is your billboard to the world on how you feel. And definitely, they're showing that they have a lot of confidence, speaking of the Risers.
Kung may konting panghihinayang man para sa Bataan is the fact that they were able to get this switch at the latter part of the season.
Oh, yes.
Kumbaga, hindi na sila makakapasok ng playoffs. But it still is some good investment for them moving over to next season, as this fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. Simon Sandagon able to deliver the goods for Quezon Province, as now there's a traveling violation called on Ives Sazon.
Oh, yan. You know, medyo nagiging tighter na yung defense ng Quezon. How do you respond? That's gonna be very important for the Risers. I don't know, early in the game. And to your point, itong Bataan Risers, much as they switched it a little bit here in the latter part of the regular season, let's not forget, these guys are losing single digits, winning single digits, almost 9 points when they win, and when they lose, just 2 possessions or 3, -7 points ang losing margin nila, which is pretty close.
Of their 16 losses, 11 were settled by single digits.
That's right.
And of those 16 losses, of those 11
yeah.
single-digit losses, 8 were against winning teams.
Agree.
So, ganun kasakit ang mga talo ng Bataan Risers. Sila nga yung pangalawang heartbreak team. Next to
Totoo.
Pangasinan this
Totoo
season.
yan. Totoo yan. Those two teams, I feel, had they won those close games, would have been a different story.
Yes.
And iba yung run ng standings. Diba?
19-8. Ives Sazon, fall away. In and out, rebound, Gravera. Rodel Gravera, by the way, is set to compete in the dunk contest this coming September 7 in Zamboanga alongside Simon Sandagon. And there's a foul called on that attack by Tomas Torres.
And slowly as the season winds to the playoff phase, nakikita mo yung mga the usual faces now being available to most of the teams. In this case, sila Torres, no? Sila Tamsi para dito sa Quezon.
Those two played bigger roles last year.
Yes.
For the Huskers, as Tamsi misfires, and here's Ives Sazon on to James Castro. Castro almost lost it. It is a turnover. Jodel Fuentes.
Oh, what a
No look
pass.
feed. Tamsi was fouled. Oh no, it's a travel by Francis.
Ganda ng pasa ni Judel. Akala ko ako papasahan, sa akin nakatingin.
Well, it fooled everybody here in
Alright.
Caloocan. As you take a look at this turnover. Ito ang highlight pass natin. Ayun ang tingin kay Coach Mike Perez.
He looked at me. Napataas ako ng kamay eh.
At dahil doon, nagulat din si Francis Tamsi,
Oo.
who unfortunately walked. And so, we have another timeout. It is 19-8. We have our fans of the game brought to you by Jinky Skin. The Shai Evangelista joins us once more, the assistant team manager of the Bataan Risers. There she is at the left-hand side of the screen. Siya pong namamahala alongside Sir Gudi Ilagan in terms of maintaining these players, making sure that they're very happy day in and day out. And if you would ask the players themselves, they're so happy to be playing for Bataan. At alagang-alaga nga raw talaga sila. It's not gonna be a surprise if most of them, if not all of them, would be staying with them up until next year.
You know, kasi definitely, there will be some that will be retained, there will be changes, and that's really just part of being in a basketball club. And lalo na if you want to win.
And in the MPBL, it's year by year.
Oo,
And
totoo.
you don't know where
saan ka.
you would land.
saan
And
ka
you
mapupunta.
don't know which teams would be contenders next year.
Yes, that's right. And which is why we still don't have a back-to-back champion, which, Pampanga might be making a case this season,
They
right?
have a good chance to do it.
Yeah.
But of course, other teams will have something to say about it. Nice block by Gravera. And that's a foul by James Castro. It's quite weird seeing James play with his hair flying about. Ayun, no?
Medyo mahaba na, no? Lalo na nawala yung headband niya.
Alam ko kanina nakatali yan ng maigi. So he will have to move forward without it. Cabanal passes onto Gravera. Turnaround shot. No good. Battle for the loose ball. It ends up with minus. 25 seconds to go. Mitchell minus streaking through and he scores. That was a 1-on-5 situation.
And that's even a good matchup right there. Gravera and Mitchell Minus. Both very athletic and get good leaping ability.
It is 21-8 in favor of the Bataan squad. We're just having so much fun in this game. Nice block by Minus. One more second. No more shot attempt. But if you're Coach Ogie Gumatay, you should be very happy.
Well, you're happy because all this starts defensively. I mean, making yourselves, giving yourselves more possessions without giving up shots that easily to the opponent.
See some highlights. It's the 1-3-1 zone breaker, courtesy of Robbie Darang, who passed the ball a lot into the interior. And it was quite effective. On the other end, it's Simon Sandagon running the course on the floor. He is the leading scorer of Quezon, scoring 75% of their total output so far. And so our first quarter score is 21-8. This is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX.
Mga kabasketball, handa na ba kayo? Makisaya ngayong September 7 sa Zamboanga City para sa 2024 Sikat MPBL All-Star Game. Iba ang sigla at laban sa Zamboanga. Suporta kita kon mga manlalaro MPBL, ang Liga ng Bayan. Basta Zamboanga, sikat.
Quezon Huskers were scoreless in the last 4.5 minutes in the first quarter. It's been that big of a dry spell for them, and finally it's ended by Simon Sandagon. Take a look at our first quarter field goal story.
Yeah, and 20% for Quezon is pretty low considering that they normally shoot about 43% from the field. And so that number's got to change as the game goes on if Quezon's come out of here with a win.
Don Vera just scored on the other end, the masked man for the Bataan Risers, after he broke his nose. This is Judel Fuentes, unable to score, rebound Acuno, and here comes the Astro Boy. Nakatali na ulit ang buhok niya. James Castro escapes. No three-point play opportunity for him, but 2 free throws will be given to the former Bataan All-Star.
Yeah, key decision there by James. Once he saw that post being open and that lane wide for anyone to claim, he just went in there. And that defense came in late, and so he got fouled.
5 points per outing in the 6th season of the MPBL for James Castro. Obviously, it was higher back in Season 4. But their previous game versus Pangasinan featured one of the best performances of the Astro Boy with 11 points versus the Heat Waves. That was only the 3rd time that he was able to reach double figures this season, following his 11 versus Davao and 12 versus Nueva Ecija.
Yeah, and actually, save for his 3-point shooting, which is roughly just 17%, it's pretty good from the perimeter. He shoots 60% from there, and he's pretty good from the free throw as well, 70%. So overall, perimeter-wise, you're getting good from James, but you got to watch out for this man right here.
Overall, perimeter-wise, it's pretty good for Judel Fuentes.
Biglang switch sa kabila.
Judel is the leading scorer of Quezon, averaging 12 points per game. He had 15 with only 1 missed shot versus Bulacan. He was 6 out of 7 from the field, as now a foul is called on the Huskers. We're seeing our 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Del Fuentes, you give him that much space, it's too easy for him.
At saka, he's one of the, I guess, elite shooters here in the MPBL. Catch and shoot, off a pin down, off a curve, put the ball on the floor. Irregardless, that shot's going to fall a lot of times for Judel.
I actually have wanted to argue that if there's a 6th Man of the Year award in the MPBL, he could be the guy, because he's only started 5 out of their 19 games.
That's right.
Including this one, he's off the bench.
That's right. And he's almost a guaranteed, 12, 13 points off the bench for Quezon.
He's basically like a Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams type for the Huskers. Sandagon rises up and he scored basket and one.
Yan ang mahirap. I mean, Simon does not have much post moves, but if you allow him to face up and put that ball on the floor, left hand or right hand, he can actually finish. That the mistake of stealing of that pass really cost that basket for Simon.
That is 10 points already in this game for the starting center of the South All-Stars, Simon Sandagon, who has definitely come a long way from his FEU days with LJ Gonzalez. 9 points, 5.5 rebounds per game. So he's in the top 3 in points and rebounds for Quezon.
Tsaka wala na magawa si Carl doon once na nag-elevate na si Simon. That's done if he elevates in front of you.
The lead is still 10. Dom Vera in and out. Rebound Gabanal. They go to Judel Fuentes. Using the screen. Now it's Gabanal. Pass inside.
Oh, wow.
Nice feed onto Sandagon.
Those look away passes, Mix. Dalawa yung nakita mo, di ba? Grabe.
And that's why Simon Sandagon told me that if you are teammates with Gabanal, you have to be ready for whatever pass that would come from him at any certain point. Because he's that good of a passer. As this play of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. Gabanal, he's actually up there with LJ Gonzalez in terms of assists per game for the Huskers, only with a 0.1 difference. So that's around 6 assists per outing for those two.
Tsaka si Gab is a type of passer na pag pinasahan ka, titira ka na lang talaga eh. And so, you gotta work on your finishes.
By the way, let me check my numbers. It's around 4.5 assists for Gabanal and LJ Gonzalez. Yung 6 na assists per game, yun ang average ni Gabanal nung MVP siya. Back in Season 2 as the MVP of ICC was able to score in Tutoy Ramirez. Finals MVP at that. Nice escape for Tutoy, making his ICC and Bataan head coach, Ogie Gumatay, proud.
And of course, playing for Coach Ogie, familiarity on systems and familiarity of what the player tendency is. Napakalaking advantage yan if you're Ramirez.
Umangat nga talaga ang kanyang minuto. Ever since dumating si Coach Ogie, or bumalik si Coach Ogie sa Bataan program. He was already a part of the Risers back in the pre-pandemic seasons. Pero matagal na yun. Iba pang lineup nila nun. This is Gonzalez driving and feeding onto Fuentes. Fidel steps back. That's good. It looks so basic for him.
It looks so sweet the way he shoots it. I mean, ready ka na ba po, camera mo? Eto na, titiro na ako. Gandang tingnan eh, di ba?
Well, the camera had to be ready for Mitchell Minus as well in that previous play.
No.
Just gave us a layup, and now it's 8 points for Minus as a foul is called on Carl Bringas.
Well, obviously, they're trying to exploit the, they feel, positional advantage with Carl Bringas being the man in the middle. Height-wise, that's advantage to Simon every time. But this drive right here by Mitchell does not discount his athletic ability to finish in contact.
Welcome back, indeed, to Mitchell Minus. He tweaked his ankle in practice, apparently, but he did not step on anybody. It was just himself. It's a freak accident for him as Alcala misfires, rebounds Santos, and here's Tutoy Ramirez. Adrian using the screen of Carl Bringas. Ramirez feeds, it's a turnover, and LJ is on the move. Gonzalez onto Mayor Mark Alcala, who was fouled by Bringas.
Well, that defensive stop on the other end, that steal by Judel Fuentes, is really him knowing the actions on a baseline drive. Normally, somebody drives baseline, that pass is going to be on the weak side corner. And inabangan lang ni Judel, alam niya, ito na, steal.
Tamang talino lang para kay Judel Fuentes, who now sits down with 5 points to his name. Dante Pagio is in for the first time.
Well, Dante Pagio also is one of the, I feel, X-factor para dito sa Bataan Risers. Effort-wise, he gives you quality minutes. In games when Jamil couldn't get going, Dante was actually the one plugging in the holes for them.
Second free throw is good for Mark Alcala. The lead is down to 10. The biggest was at 14 for the Risers.
But they're still pretty much in this. I mean, you just gotta execute and chip away.
It's Tutoy Ramirez. Misfiring. Ball tapped away, apparently, by Simon Sandagon.
Yeah, that ball touched last by Simon, but kung na-secure niya yun, takbuhan na naman yun sa kabila. I feel right now, Simon's the advantage here for Quezon.
He did point out they had 35 fast break points versus Bulacan against the 8th of the Cuyas in their previous outing. As now there's a loose ball foul called on likely Jamil Gabawan. First foul for the former champion with San Juan.
At saka pag tinignan mo itong Quezon, everybody is a very capable ball handler. And so whenever you have a live turnover, expect a fast break the other way.
Sandagon barged his way through.
And clearly, he is the advantage right now. You know, both positional and qualitative. I mean, he's just got too much power to go inside. And going right-handed, hirap.
Okay, I want to share to you something. So I've covered the last 2 games of Quezon, which, including this one, which are the 2 games after Sandagon found out that he was an all-star.
Okay.
And I have observed that he's moving with so much more confidence. I'd like you to observe him as well, maybe some more time. But of course, we'll gladly take this for the center of the Quezon Huskers.
Pero I mean, recognitions like those could really do so much sa confidence mo. Mabubu-boost ka talaga niyan.
We've had boosts after people got drafted in the PBA. At yan, all-star appearances. It actually happened to John Amores last year.
Oh, yeah.
When he was selected as a member of Muntinlupa for the South All-Stars. Ang ganda ng kumpiyansa niya performing after that selection. And now John Amores is in the PBA.
Right.
Mark Alcala leans in. No good. Rebound Bringas. Carl going on to Jeff Santos. Nice fake. Santos of the corner. No good.
He sold that pretty well, yung fake na yon.
31-23. Gabanal. Onto his trailer. Sandagon is fouled.
And Sandagon clearly is on full attack mode today. You know, not second guessing himself. Normally when he gets there, he looks to the corners to find shooters. But now, he's going in there to finish.
Sandagon has a chance to reach 17 points after this free throw trip. Again, he averages 9 per outing.
Right now, he's 15 and 5. 5 rebounds already for Simon. And
First free throw?
Sure
It's no good though.
Sure doesn't look like he's about to stop on the rebounds.
Oh, yeah. His free throw shooting is 3 out of 5. Of his 5 rebounds, 4 came from the defensive end. Oh, just got to be consistent with their free throw shot. One other thing that Simon is known for is his shot blocking ability. He's number 3 in the league in blocks per game. As Alex Ramos just scored.
Right there, a little good feed inside of that curl on the backside of the defense.
LJ Gonzalez, his three-pointer is no good. Rebound Baguio. Bataan continuing to be in control. Ramirez. On to Minus. Bounce to Jeff Santos against Jadel Fuentes. Back up to Ramirez. Then on the shot clock.
He's waiting for that screen.
There it is, provided by Minus. 7 seconds. Good help by Gabanal. Baguio had to fire. That's good. What a bailout shot.
And that looked good when it left his hands. He had enough air underneath that shot for that to go in.
And he did mention he could be an X factor. Jadel Fuentes in and out. Rebound. On to Minus. Here come the risers. Mitchell Minus is fouled.
And Baguio was waiting in the corner, getting ready to get another attempt from the corner 3. Look at how he elevated against this shot. Ganda nung arc, no?
Well, he actually idolizes another lengthy shooter. At ang maganda dyan, tinanong ko to, ang context nito, sino ang idol niya sa buong mundo? Ang sagot niya, hindi galing NBA, hindi galing PBA. Ang sagot niya, Dennis Santos.
Oh, yeah.
Of the MPBL.
Right.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, kasi si Dennis, ang taas rin ang tira nun no? Taas rin yung arc
They're both lengthy.
They're both lengthy too, that's right. And you like for players to be, alluding to other players, liking them, drawing inspiration.
I've even asked some junior MPBL players kung sino ang idol nila. As a double warning is called, Jeff Santos and Cyrus Torres. So back to the junior MPBL players, tinanong ko na rin sila sinong idol ninyo, ganyan. At syempre kadalasan NBA, PBA pa rin. Pero may mga sumasagot na ng Levy Hernandez. Ang ganda. So, it's the MPBL in its full effect onto not just the current generation but the next as well.
I agree.
We have a timeout, 38-23. Simon Sandagon, with his renewed confidence as an all-star in the MPBL, scored 11 points in their previous game versus Bulacan. He has already surpassed that with 15 tonight here in Caloocan. Let's hear a Simon Sandagon story from Mika Bisamis.
Mix, you have been talking about the confidence of Simon Sandagon. I talked to him about the possible opponents in the next levels. And he said, hindi ko siguro matatapatan ang bigat nila. Pero dahil running big ako, matatakbuhan ko naman sila. He said he continues to watch the moves of the bigs of this league to learn one or two from them. He gave me a list actually. On Balti, definitely his skills. On Will Macaloni, his composure during crucial moments, always finding the ball. And well, on Greg Slaughter, well, just naturally the biggest. Migs, Coach Mike.
There you have it. It's good to hear that Simon Sandagon is also looking forward to learning or emulating some of the best big men here in the MPBL, as Del Fuentes was able to convert from downtown. And he has the perfect opportunity to prove himself against those bigs in the same game on September 7. A tall order for Mr. Sandagon. But the good thing is he will have Cedric Ablaza and Christian Pajarito with him.
Yeah. And you always like players who accept what their style of players, as you see LJ Gonzalez scoring off that layup, and understanding ano pa yung pwede kong ma-pick up sa ibang mga players. You like players like those na nakikita yung maliliit na detalye na pwede nilang gamitin to their advantage.
I tell you though, if you're an average fan of the MPBL and you're expecting that Balti, Greg, and Will dominate in the All-Star game, I'd like to present the case of the South Division. Simon Sandagon running with LJ Gonzalez and JC Marcelino.
Oh, yes.
It's gonna be very interesting.
Yes.
Christian Pajarito is also a dynamic big. We all know how Cedric Ablaza is. Alam mo naman may sariling pacing yun. Kaya makipagsabayan. Batangas ka. Takbo sila ng takbo eh.
Right. Agree. At saka yung pace of how they play the game, that's gonna be, I guess, the differentiator to the bigs of North. Oh, wow.
So Del Fuentes, he's feeling it right now. He's up to double figures with 10.
He kissed that so high off the glass, it almost hit the shot clock.
That trimmed the lead down to 8. The biggest was 15 for the Risers as Mitchell Minus scores again.
Well, that's a good up fake and a good footwork finish there by Mitchell Minus.
12 points and 7 rebounds already for the returning Mitchell Minus off of that ankle injury. Here's LJ. Nice steal by Robbie. Baguio is at the right. Look out, Dante Baguio. No jam, but 2 points for him.
Right. And both these teams are actually very good at field goal makes, and primarily because they've got very able shooters, just like this one right here.
So that surpasses the season average. 13 points already for Jadel Fuentes, just like that.
Ang daming very capable scorers na mataas yung mga shooting percentage for both these teams actually.
Robbie Darang, screen by Alex Ramos. Darang going left. 4 on the shot clock. Short on his shot. No forward pass for Fuentes. Jadel using the screen. Again, the space that he needed.
And the look that he wanted.
Whew, he's so good. Jadel Fuentes with 16 points.
When he's got his eye on that rim and never looking on the ball as he puts it down, you know that's a knockdown shooter that you have in Jadel Fuentes.
He scored 15 points in 15 minutes of play versus Bulacan. He already has 16 in 9 minutes of play versus Bataan. Judel Fuentes scored all of his 15 in the first half versus Bulacan because that's all that they needed from him. He actually missed one in the second half. That was his lone miss. After that, Coach Eric Gonzalez decided, okay na. Okay na tayo. Judel doesn't need to score anymore. They had a big-time win after all versus the Cuyas, limiting them to 51 points. But in this game, Judel has already scored 16 in the second quarter.
Yeah. And he's been so good on the field. Matter of fact, he's shooting 75%.
Only 2 misses, 6 out of 8.
80% from 3, 4 out of 5.
Mitchell Minus, 6 on the shot clock. His 3 is short. Rebound to Peng Lagrama.
Oh, this is another guy that we haven't heard so much.
They're that deep.
Yeah, they're that deep. That's right.
15 on the shot clock. Topeng bounces. Sandagon rises. He was blocked by Baguio.
And clearly talagang ang instructions. If you get it, Simon, you go and attack.
This fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Play Max, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. Fuentes again. Short. Rebound on the side of Torres. Cyrus left open for 3. No good. Tarang has 9 seconds to work with. They go to Minus down the middle. Mitchell Minus. No, sir. Recovery for Ramos. Still no good. Agrama fires it up. That's no good. And so it is a 6-point game at halftime in favor of the Risers after they led by as many as 15 points. It was such a good response from Judel Fuentes and the rest of Quezon Province.
Yeah, indeed. And you like, if you're Coach Ogie, you like that response by Bataan, trimming this down to a 6-point game. And you're not rattled at all. A lot of it because of this man right here.
Mitchell Minus has 12 points. He is the leading scorer of the Risers, the lone guy in double figures, ahead of Jess Santos and Dante Baguio. On the other end, it's been mostly Judel Fuentes and Simon Sandagon scoring for the Huskers. We'll break it down even more for you guys later on. This halftime score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. It's the ending. GameX.
Mga kabasketball, handa na ba kayo? Makisaya ngayong September 7 sa Zamboanga City para sa 2024 Sikat MPBL All-Star Game. Iba ang sigla at laban sa Zamboanga. Suporta kita kon mga manlalaro MPBL, ang Liga ng Bayan. Basta Zamboanga, sikat.
At ayan na nga mga kaliga, excited na ang ating founder na si Senator Manny Pacquiao para sa ating All-Star Weekend. Kaya magkita-kita po tayo dyan sa Zamboanga. But for now, I am joined by Coach Jeric Teng of the Quezon Huskers. Magandang gabi, Coach Jeric. You know, it was really the confidence of Bataan that we saw in the first quarter, but slowly your own confidence is showing. Besides this, what else do you want to see in the second half?
Yun nga, coming to this game, we knew it wasn't gonna be easy kasi ang ganda nilaro ng Bataan against Pangasinan. We saw their game. And yun lang, siguro we have to clean up on the rebounding department. Yung mga guards nila pumapasok sa loob to get those rebounds. So we have to do a better job on boxing out.
Credit rin syempre kay Simon dito sa first half. Meron ka ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan, Coach Jeric?
Syempre, first of all, binabati po namin ang aming mga team owners, Governor Dr. Hedentan, Boss RD, Congressman Attorney Mike Tan, si Doc Kim, si Dr. Rakit, sila Kobe, sina Malik, si Mayor Ralph Lim, si Attorney Don Kapunan, at syempre po lahat ng mga sumusuporta ng mga taga Quezon. Maraming salamat po sa mga suporta nyo. Pati dyan mga kababayan ko dyan sa Gumaca, Quezon. Sana tuloy-tuloy rin sa pagsuporta sa team. Palapit na po ang playoffs. Sana po makakuha po tayo ng mga panalo coming to the playoffs para maganda yung dating natin come the playoff time. So, maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, Coach Jeric. Pero bago ang playoffs, may All-Star Weekend tayo sa September 7. Anyanyahan mo naman ng mga Quezon fans na manood sila doon.
Yes, syempre inanyahan ko lahat ng mga Quezon fans na manood at supportahan po ang All-Star Game this September 7. Meron po tayong mga players sasali po sa All-Star Game, sa 3-point shootout, sa dunk contest. So, panoorin yan. They will give it their best. Sana may panalo nila yung mga contest na yun.
Maraming salamat once again, Coach Jeric Teng of the Quezon Huskers. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
The stars have aligned, and now we are dead set for our PBL All-Star Game.
Are you ready for more? Pacquiao finally knocks down the three. Count All-Star Executive.
The man you have all been waiting for. How many times have we seen that and it still doesn't get tiring to watch?
A love to himself. For the tie! Oh no! No! That is it! For the
Three-point shootout champion, Orlan Wamar!
The crown will belong to the guy from the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Our champion is CJ Ganya. Boy Yakub from downtown. Leaner, yes sir. Run, Serrano on the move. Serrano all the way.
Oh my goodness, there we go. That's our first dunk of the game. MPBL All-Star Game winner, the North All-Stars.
Mga kabasketball, handa na ba kayo? Makisaya ngayong September 7 sa Zamboanga City para sa 2024 Sikat MPBL All-Star Game. Iba ang sigla at laban sa Zamboanga. Suporta kita kung mga manlalaro MPBL, ang Liga ng Bayan. Basta Zamboanga, sikat.
Back inside the Caloocan Sports Complex for Bataan versus Quezon. It is 42-36 in favor of the rejuvenized Bataan Risers, who again have exhibited different energy ever since their Pangasinan win. Today they have executed so well. They ran the course of the floor, but Quezon did give us some great counters, especially coming from Rodel Fuentes and Simon Sandago.
Well, I feel that itong Bataan really did a good start, pero sobrang efficient lang nung latter part ng quarter para dito sa Quezon, enough to give them this 6-point deficit. At a point, kontek pang mababayan sa 4 points or 3 points. No? Rebounds clearly on the side of Bataan. Well, I guess that really brings more of the efficiency on the side of Quezon on their offensive attacks. Points of turnovers and turnovers forced halos pareho. So pareho naglalaro ng depensa, but the bench really has once again in this game risen para dito sa Bataan, and parang yan yung nagiging calling card nitong Bataan Risers so far in the last 2 games.
And answering to the call is Mitchell Minus with 12 points on his return for the Risers ever since his ankle injury. Jeff Santos, Dante Pagio, and Carl Bringas also help out in terms of scoring. A total of 11 players have scored for the Risers. While for Quezon, that list, that's it.
Right.
Those are the only 4 who have scored for the Huskers. 31 coming from Sandagon and Fuentes combined.
Yeah, and yung volume shots really coming from both Simon and Jodel Fuentes. Both of them making 6 out of 9 from the field. Samantala dito sa side ng Bataan, you know, it really was more of Santos and Mitchell Minus, and the other guys got to step up in doing better on field goal conversions.
Here's Minus starting the second half with a nice feed onto Alex Ramos.
Very good execution. Now you start that flow again. Start the second half.
I did ask Mitchell at halftime, ano ba yung nagbago? Bakit ang ganda ng nilalaro ninyo? Mas nag-enjoy kayo at this point of the season? At sabi niya, nasanay na kasi sila kay Coach Ogie Gumatay. Couple of games in, couple of tough losses as well. And so, things have been so worth it as RJ Minerva just scored his first 2 points.
And that's very important, yung very evident yung change, you know. You see the change in the demeanor, the body language, and the way that they've been playing together as a team.
It's 44-36 now. A minute gone by in the third. Sandagon staying aggressive. Simon Sandagon, no good.
That time around, a little bit miscommunication on the spacing. Medyo masikip yung attack na yun para kay Simon.
We actually have a very interesting battle among the bigs because these are modern day bigs,
Yes,
right?
that's right. That's right.
Alex Ramos, Simon Sandagon, RJ Minerva, and Mitchell Minus.
You can even plug in there si Gab Banal. Diba?
Right.
Got good post-ups too.
There's si Gab kasi kahit ano kaya gawin. as it is a 24-second shot clock violation called on Robbie Darang and company.
And again, kanina nakita natin humiwalay ang Quezon because of the defense. Now it's here again early in the third quarter. And so, you know, you got to stay with that flow that you had to start the quarter.
The biggest lead was 15 in the first half for Bataan. LJ Gonzalez looking to trim this 6-point deficit even lower. Gabanal, the pull-up, and the miss. Rebound minus. That's rebound number 8 for Mitchell. Forward onto Jeff Santos. Baseline drive. Was that a foul? Yes, it was.
And they felt na parang fumble yun sa side ni, was that Santos? Yeah, Santos. That was Jeff. Pero ang ganda ng help side rin ni Gab. Parating pa lang si Jeff, nandun na si Gab So, nakikita mo talaga humihigpit yung depensa ng Quezon.
Tutoy Ramirez returns to the game, replacing Robbie Darang. Minus bounces it off. Ramirez going to Alex Ramos. Where will he go? It's Ives Sazon who will operate. 7 seconds. Ramos.
Good seed.
Ramirez for 3. No good. Rebound Minerva.
Yeah, that was a good look. Really just couldn't make it.
Here's LJ. Playing it fast. He was fouled by Ramirez.
Bilis ng burst of speed no?
Kala mo walang pilay.
Oh. Ang bilis Kung mahinahinang nila lang, natatalisod-talisod pa yun no? Kung ganun kabilis
LJ Gonzalez couldn't score. No putback for Sandagon. And here's minus forward to Ramirez. Nice feed, but a better read by Gonzalez. And it was off of Ramos out of bounds.
Right. Now it's just LJ being experienced, understanding merong rim run to sa kabila. Kailangan masundutan ko.
And again, he was able to use his quickness. Gonzalez currently has 2 points and 4 assists to his name. Gets it up top.
Oh,
that's a walk.
Travel, yeah. Clearly.
Kahit gano'ng kabilis ka pa.
Nakita pa rin.
Mabilis din ang mga mata ng referees natin.
At saka 2 beses tumunog
Oh my goodness. I did not expect that from you, Coach Mike.
Yeah. But I heard that.
As an engineer, no?
Yeah, as an engineer. May audio pa
All right, let's focus again. Minus. Turning around and feeding Alex Ramos. No good. Recovery for Quezon. Here's RJ Minerva. On to Gab Banal. They go to Mark Alcala, who fires and scores.
And now
First 3-pointer of Mayor Mark.
Yeah, I was going to say, now you have to be mindful of the other guys outside of Simon and Judel. You don't want to get these guys going. After all, collectively as a team, this is shooting 40-41% from the field. It means they have really good scorers as well. In as much as kung kayong Bataan, meron din kayong scorer. Sila rin meron.
Mayor Mark Alcala at the left wing. He's very comfortable with that 3-pointer, much to the delight of his bench.
Tsaka alam mo yung mga tira by design talaga no? They really, wanted him to take that shot.
3-point shooting +2 for Quezon in this game. And the foul now is called on LJ Gonzalez.
And the clear disparity on the board side is offensive rebound. It's 15 versus 8 in favor of Quezon. And so, tuwing may pagkakataon ka, Bataan Risers, siguraduhin mo makaka-second chance points ka off of it.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Let's go back to Mika.
This Bataan team is relentless, sabi ni Coach Eric Gonzalez. We actually lost to them last season in the eliminations. So double dose of confidence yan. Hindi daw pwede magkulang ang effort ng Huskers sa game na ito, lalo sa transition, cuts to the basket, and rebounding. At lalo na ang lalaki ng guards ng Risers. He would like to see more from Simon, RJ, and LJ, also Jason Opiso, Lander, Cannon, and Rodel Gravera eventually. Talked about his preparation for the playoffs. He is 60%. Based on his tune-up this week with Adamson and QC. Because of his lack of bigs, they still need to fix their defensive schemes. Simon, though, doing some justice today. Mix, Coach Mike.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
Only at 60% progress for Coach Eric Gonzalez. But going up against a UAP team is a nice measure.
Totoo yun. At saka I guess yung mga bigs naman kasi nitong very mobile bigs that you have, not the conventional ones. You have a Baltasar posting up or what have you. At wala nga sabi mo kanina, new age bigs ang meron ngayon dito sa Quezon, di ba? And so, to Simon's point earlier, if I can beat them on strength, I'll beat them on speed. Mas mabilis ako sa kanila.
That's a good reminder from Mika, by the way, that the UAAP will be coming back soon.
Oh.
Actually, September 7th is a big day for Philippine basketball. It's the return of UAAP, the NCAA as well, and the All-Star Day for the MPBL.
Yeah. And the nation's going to be very busy with basketball that day.
Simon Sandagon converting on his first free throw. He is at 4 out of 8 from the line, 50% after that miss. 46-42. Jeff Santos hands it off. Ramirez, back to Jeff. Screen by Ramos. Alex, a modern name big. Shooting and missing, in and out. And there's a loose ball foul called on RJ Minerva.
And you can tell na ang schemes ni Coach Ogie right now is predicated on making shots from the outside. There was a multiple action that happened right there from the top. First, it was a flare screen. Then it was a re-screen before that slip taken from top of the key. And so really the point of attack is to see if you've got a three, then go take it.
Baseline drive. Jeff Santos is fouled. More free throws for us.
Ito, pangalawang beses natin nakita yung drive sa baseline dun sa right side ng floor na yon. The difference is that yung help medyo late from Simon, or was it Gravera? The help was late.
First one is no good for Jeff Santos. He currently has 6 points off of 2 3-pointers. This is his first trip to the stripe. Second one is good. Santos is one of the 5 leading scorers of Bataan this season. He's one of those guys who average double figures in their wins. So that's Robbie Darang, Yves Sazon, Rafi Octobre, Jeff Santos, and Mitchell Minus. And so Del Gavera just scored to answer back.
A very basic attack against the zone. Try to get that big guy rolling from uphill.
Ramirez answers back on the other end. Palitan lang tayo.
Ganda ng palitan. Lamang nito, 5-point difference lang. Pag tinignan mo sa free throws, kung na-shoot ng Bataan yung free throws nila, this would have been a tight game.
Sorry miss on that layup by Mark Alcala, although it was a nice-looking move. And we're back with Tutoy Ramirez.
Thanks for that screen.
Santos now getting the ball and shooting, and he converts from downtown.
Well, got Banal right there. Medyo a little bit got confused kung ano ba yung magiging next action. Thinking that it was still gonna be a pass. Not knowing na titira na pala si Jeff.
52-44, Banal ready to shoot that three, but there's a foul on that feed by LJ Gonzalez.
Pero kita mo yung ahead mentality ni LJ Gonzalez. You see this pass in the corner. Nabangan niya, akala niya meron pa isang action Kaya nakababa yung kamay.
Third three-pointer of Jeff Santos in this game. He's already in double figures. The next guy to reach that mark behind Mitchell Minus. Alvin Abundo is now making his first appearance in 2 games.
Good to see him back too.
Alvin fires, and he scores immediately.
So that's one guy who will not shy away from a spot that you're going to give him free on the floor. He will take it.
The lead is down to 5. Under 4 minutes in the third. Robbie Darang. Ooh, Baguio unable to handle the leather. You can't let that bother you if you're both Baguio and Darang.
Yeah, 2 things that weren't good there. 1, the pass by Robbie Darang, na knowing na merong bantay si Judel, stayed it. 2, Dante did not lift. Should have released that pressure from Judel.
It's Gravera back at it. He's fouled by Carl Bringas.
Nakikita mo, Simon and Gravera, every time they get that ball in the middle, they will attack. They will not look for the shooters. They will attack. They will exploit that middle positional advantage to their point.
Minus and Ramirez now return for the Risers. I want to see how many people have played for them already. Talking about Bataan, it's a total of 12. And I bring that up because if you would look at their individual stats this season, 15 players average 10 minutes played per game or more. Ganun po kabalanse kanilang rotation this season. Just got to see Commissioner Kenneth Durandez watching intently at the sideline.
But then a lot of it is because of the way they rotated the players early in the season. No? So different combinations, trying to find the right ones. And I feel ngayon nakita na nila kung sino yung tamang kombinasyon.
52-49. It's down to a one-possession game. Ramirez drives. Ramirez will score.
Nakita mo talaga, ramdam niya yung kumpiyansa galing kay Coach Ogie. Hindi nagdalawang isip, inatake kagad yung open space.
That's 9 points now for Adrian Tutoy Ramirez. Back to a 5-point lead. Abundo.
Samsi in the corner.
Fading away. Wow. Nice shot. 2+1 for Alvin Abundo.
And that speaks just in confidence. I mean, you're driving middle. You're barely gotten into the game. You have Tamsi in the corner and you decide to take the shot. Sobrang kumpiyansa talaga. Yan kay Abundo.
Confidence as well coming from Tutoy Ramirez. Nagsagutan lang dalawang mandalaro.
Parang nag-one-on-one lang yung dalawa.
Yes. Here's Alvin from the stripe, one of the leaders of Quezon. He's actually their most vocal leader.
Oh, right.
Because Gab Banal is not as vocal as him. Although some players of Quezon would tell you na kapag nagsalita na si Gab, makinig talaga
Kinig
kayo.
lahat.
Titigil ang mundo.
Parang yung principal na yung nagsalita. Advisor lang yung nagsalita kanina.
Here's Tutoy Ramirez working with Alex. No, not Alex Ramos. That's Mitchell Minus. Ramirez backing down. Spinning away. No good. Recovery for Gravera. Quezon has a chance to tie or even get the lead. Fuentes. Abundo. Back to Francis Tamsi. Drive and feed.
I see that's one more pass.
This
Definitely.
is for the lead. No good for Gravera.
How about the trust in Gravera taking that shot from the corner? No? Judel had your best shooter had a shot that he gave it up because that's the concept of the team.
2 minutes before the end of the third. Mitchell Minus, nice spin.
Galing. Yung drop step ang layo nun, napunta sa kabila.
That's 14 points and 9 rebounds in 17 minutes of play for Mitchell Minus. Jason Opiso giving it up to Alvin Abundo. 9 on the shot clock. Abundo continuing to operate. Now it's Gravera. 3 seconds. Alvin, what will he do? Abundo had to fire. Short. And here's Mitchell. Minus going all the way. Yes.
It's going to be tough to stop Mitchell Minus if you allow him to dribble 94 feet on the floor.
Almost a steal. We're back with Quezon. Here's Judel Fuentes. Tried to fool the defense. Almost a turnover. Gravera down the middle. No good. Offensive rebound. Abundo fires off to the right. Two All-Stars will return. LJ Gonzalez and Simon Sandagon. Same goes for their co-FEU guy, Cyrus Torres.
Well, Judel Fuentes has gotten more minutes after the first half of action, but he hasn't attempted any at all yet here. He got one kanina pero pinasa niya, no?
Yeah, I wonder what that's about. Or maybe he's just going through the flow of their offense.
I think so too.
No backdoor play for Don Vera. The back with Tutoy Ramirez. Adrian against Cyrus Torres. Ramirez, bounce pass, turnover. 30 seconds. Judel Fuentes, 2 for 1. Short. Rebound Minus. It's a double-double now for Mitchell.
Yeah, you got to stop him. That's good.
No more shot clock here off of that steal.
Watch out for Judel here.
LJ Gonzalez, no man was ready to defend him. It was a miscue for the Risers, leading on to 2 free throws.
Ganda ng read. Kita niya, scramble yung defense inside the paint. Nobody was rightfully positioned, and so he took advantage of it. Went to that burst of speed going left. At kahit na nabunggo na, naitira pa rin ng maayos ni LJ.
Gonzalez has 2 points so far. This is his first trip to the stripe. The first one is good. Saw his averages. LJ leads Quezon in terms of assists and steals per game. And he's a part of the top 3 in scoring. 1 out of 2. Own rebound. Gonzalez, napaganda pa. Down to 5 seconds.
They got time.
It's Mitchell Minus fouled by Sandagon as the buzzer sounded. That's going to be the first foul of Simon Sandagon in this game.
Yeah, now on the last 4 plays when clearly Ramirez was involved, if I'm Coach Ogie, I'm liking what he's been doing. Sure, walang makes, pero you like yung confidence in taking the shots and making decisions off of it, because you're gonna need that later on in the 4th.
So the referees are reviewing that last foul by Simon Sandagon. Although as per us hearing it, it seemed like, yep, it made it. So 2 free throws will be given for, or 2. Mitchell Minus, who already has 16 points and 12 rebounds in this game. What a return for him. Commissioner Kenneth Duremdes looking good here at the sideline. Siya pa rin naman talaga ang ating ultimate celebrity dito sa MPBL.
Mitch Minus has been pretty good. 6 of 8 from the field, shooting 75%. 4 out of 4 from the stripe, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Pretty solid.
There you see Coach Eric Gonzalez. It's quite weird to see a coach as there's no more shot attempt there. It's quite weird to see a coach in between 2 A-boards. Yeah. But he seems comfortable with it. May sandala ng kanyang dalawang arms.
May armrest.
Oh. These highlights of the game are brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Well, it's really been the continued consistency on the field goal makes para dito sa Bataan. The rebounds have still been on their part. But really just a matter of conversions on the free throws. Had they made these 4 missed free throws, this would have been a tied game, or at least a lead on their side.
Quezon will still take it though, getting the advantages in the 2nd and 3rd frames after only scoring 8 points in the first 10 minutes of this match. This 3rd quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. We have our fans of the game brought to you by Jinky Skin. We're very glad to have them inside the Caloocan Sports Complex for Quezon versus Bataan. Later on, Caloocan Batang Kankalu will defend their home court against the Rizal Golden Coolers. 2 teams who are looking to get better placing in the North Division playoff picture. They're currently number 7 and 8 in the North.
But
right now,
but I guess it's mostly pressure on the side of Rizal to try to win as many games, because Caloocan ang dami pang laro eh. They still have 8 games to go. 4 na lang para dito sa Rizal.
We have our All-Star Day this coming September 7 inside the Mayor Vitaliano Diagan Coliseum in Zamboanga City. So meron po tayong executive game, 3-point shootout, slam dunk contest, and All-Star game. Watch out for that. So Gabanal won't be a part of it, although he is all-star caliber here in the MPBL. A couple of his teammates will be present in Zamboanga. Domar Matiliano will compete in the 3-point shootout. He was our 3-point king back in Season 4. In the slam dunk contest, Rodel Gavera and Simon Sandagon will take part.
See the scoring right there. Better finish for Quezon, 19 versus that of 17 in the third. Pero maganda rin yung recovery dito sa Bataan, keeping it close unlike nung second quarter when they were down by as much as 7.
Gab Banaldo just scored his first 3 points in this game in signature fashion for him, as he has been one of our top 3-point gunners in our campaign. Nice feed. Mitchell minus. That's going to count.
That's all about moving ball, moving men, getting paint touches, getting that secondary defender, and feeding off to the guy that's least guarded. In this case, would be Mitch Minus.
Minus is 1 point away from reaching 20 points in his return game. He also has 12 rebounds, 7 out of 9 very efficient shooting.
Tsaka yung kumpiyansa, kita mo no? Iba yung kumpiyansa ngayon ni Mitch Minus in this particular game. He understands if we take this team down, we took out Pangasinan, it speaks a lot on their confidence. No?
Gab Banal, back-to-back threes. Gab Banal is actually number 3 in the whole of the MPBL in 3-point shooting at a 41% clip this season. And I did ask him about it as Robbie Darang is fouled by Gab himself. Ito si Gab kung ito na ba yung naging evolution ng game niya. Sabi niya sa PBA naman kasi ganun yung naging role niya. At some point, he actually led the PBA in 3-point shooting percentage. It actually just looked weird for me because when we saw him with Bacoor, he had a different role.
Yes.
He was LeBron James
right.
for the Strikers. His averages were 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Now it's at 9, 5, and 5. So halos nangalahati yung scoring ni Gab.
Right.
Pero andun pa rin ang kanyang presence and leadership.
Oo naman. It doesn't, deteriorate any of the quality player that he is. It just speaks in volume on how much talent these guys have.
3 straight. No bounce. All tapped away.
Ngayon, nagbago naman yung point of attack nila. They're trying to hit shooters from the outside. Earlier, they were getting paint touches for the bigs. Now, shooters gotta come in now.
Back with Robbie Darang. Still up by 3. Quezon hasn't led since early in the first frame. Alex Ramos, 7 on the shot clock. Inside, it's Minus against Sandagon. Nice matchup.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
It's a charge by Minus. And Bataan cannot believe it. Look at Coach Ogie Gumatay looking so passionate, fired up, giving instructions.
Yeah, because what Coach Ogie was saying was that soon as that ball got dribbled towards the wing, Minus was supposed to curl to the opposite side to open that post area for anyone to drive.
Masikip no?
Masikip, yeah. That's what he's saying.
Fuentes turns around.
Oh,
that's good. His first 2 points in the second half.
At parang wala lang no?
So I mentioned he could be the best 6-man this year in the MPBL as Mitchell Minus answers back again. He has 22 points. But back to that 6-man conversation, I mentioned the names of Jamal Crawford and Lou Williams, potentially as comparisons for Judel Fuentes. Sabi niya, he doesn't really look up to those two as much as LJ Gonzalez makes a 3-pointer. And we now have a tied ball game. Ang sabi ni Judel sa akin, ang idol niya in terms of 6th men in the world is Malik Monk of the Sacramento Kings.
Wow. That's interesting.
First guy that I know of who idolizes him. As Mitchell Minus answers back 68-66. What a game for Mitchell.
Well, it's the efficiency that's actually the separator, I guess, in this particular case for Mitch Minus. 77% from the field. 50% from 3.
This play of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. We always talk about the latter part of the season as a tryout for any of our players, especially the ones at the lower part of the standings. I hope that Mitchell Minus is able to prove himself to a lot of teams for next year.
That's right.
Although we can't count out Bataan again because this is a nice franchise and the players have loved being a part of this team. Fidel Fuentes misfires. Rebound, James Castro. And there's a foul called on Francis Stamsi.
He got tempted. Kala niya masusundutan niya si James.
How about Francis Stamsi playing big minutes though
Yeah.
on his return? Alvin Abundo replacing LJ. Quezon still could not get over the hump of getting the lead once again. Robbie Darang onto Mitchell Minus. Minus attacking. Oh, he does see an advantage against Stamsi.
Yeah. I mean, forcefulness and foot speed might be on the side of Mitch Minus. And you love that he stayed in control. I mean, every time you see a guy that finishes off 2 feet inside the paint, alam mong may karga yan pag umatake.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. May karga din ng unang free throw ni Mitchell Minus. He's up to 26 points with 13 boards in 22 minutes of play.
8 out of 9 from the free throw.
What's more impressive? As he misses his second.
Let's move on.
Wala na. Mas impressive na yung field goals niya after that free throw miss. Okay. Next play up for us. It's Gab Banal. Onto Jadel Fuentes. Backdoor. He was fouled.
When you see how immediately understood that it was a backdoor, got that ball, didn't even put it on the floor and just elevated. And inaantay lang talaga niya yung contact sa taas. Hindi niya binago yung tira niya. It stayed up there.
That's such a nice lesson to teach to the common basketball player. Na huwag mo nang pahirapan yung sarili mo mid-air.
Ika nga ng mga coaches, kiss yan. Keep it simple. Huwag na pahirapan. Lay-up lang eh.
And in the perspective of the referees as well, kasi madalas mangyari yun yung babali ka, tatawag ka ng foul, or di ka hingi ka ng foul sa referee.
Yeah.
But the referees sometimes would use that against you. Dahil binali mo pa. As Fuentes converts, he now has 20. 70-68. Robbie Darang. Going back to Mitchell Minus. Same matchup. Minus being forceful.
Oh, wow.
Basket and one. 28 points for Mitchell Minus.
Typical inverted two-man game right there. You see the corner lifting up, getting that screen. But Minus, kung tutuusin, napaaga pa nga yung alis ni Minus. Di lang tayo yung screen eh. Kaya medyo nagkaroon pa ng contact.
He just had to fly high for those 2 points.
And you know already, Mitch, na-atake talaga doon because open yung post eh.
Right, because he came from outside and he's the big.
Right.
Mitchell Minus almost tripling his scoring average. So he's now 9 out of 11 from the line and 10 out of 12 from the field. This should be his career high. We'll confirm that. Fuentes onto Gab Banal. Back to Jadel. 10 on the shot clock. Cyrus Torres is fouled.
And that's one guy who hasn't gotten going himself.
Sideline inbound for Cyrus Torres. It's Alvin Abundo. Under 6 minutes to go. Simon Sandagon, short. Great effort by Abundo. And we're back with Fuentes. Another foul called.
Foul on number 14, Alex Ramos is second. And that is the 14th foul on Bataan Risers.
Pabalik dito sina Adrian Ramirez at Jeff Santos. Kapalitan sina Robbie Darang at James Castro.
Yeah. And I feel na ang key factor here is, remember when we talked about at the half na apat pa lang yung umi-score dito sa Quezon? Well, those two leaders being Judel Fuentes and Simon Sandagon. Right now, isa pa lang nakaka-convert sa kanila ng field goal dito sa second half. So si Torres with a 3 right there.
First 3 points for Cyrus Torres.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a guy that hasn't gotten himself going yet in this game.
That's his first make in 4 tries.
And that's an interesting matchup right there. Torres on Mitch Minus.
Ramirez attacking. Wow, what a game as well for Tutoy Ramirez.
Yan na nga yung sinasabi natin kanina. Okay lang yung mga mistake mo kanina. Basta may kumpiyansa kang gawin yung gusto mong gawin. Patuloy mo lang yan. Kasi later in the game, that's gonna matter.
Ramirez now has 11. He is the third guy in double figures for Bataan. Simon Sandagon is now fouled.
Well, so far in terms of a point of attack, that's the one that's worked so far consistently para dito sa Quezon. That paint action involving Simon Sandagon. They're taking the ball away now from Judel Fuentes on that middle ball screen and having others decide on the point of attack for the Huskers.
First free throw is good for Simon Sandagon. That's his second point in the second half. Nothing from the field. He's 0 out of 4 from the field in the third and fourth frames.
That's right.
17 and 10 for the South All-Star starter. 1 out of 2 from the stripe. It is a one-possession game here in Caloocan. Bataan with Minus attacking. He was definitely fouled. Mitchell Minus has a chance to increase his career high, currently at 29 points. And that is quite concerning for the Quezon Huskers. Simon Sandagon is in foul trouble. That's why they're now going to go smaller with RJ Minerva playing the 5 position.
Man, those are very quick fouls too. Kanina, isa lang ang foul niya, no? And he picked him up real quick here in the second half.
In fact, all of his fouls have come in the third and fourth frames.
Right.
Mitchell Minus, 31 points, 13 rebounds in 25 minutes of play. But now he will take a breather. Now, how long will they keep him on their bench?
Yeah, most probably for a minute or so. I don't think he's going to be in there for long. He's the most efficient guy so far for them.
LJ Gonzalez, no good. Rebound Minerva, that's what he does. No basket though. Bataan continuing to take good care of their lead. Vera. Santos now to Gabawan. Jamil attacking and feeding. Don Vera
wow.
all day. In and out. Nice tap. Recovery though for Cyrus Torres. Bounce pass. LJ is blocked by Gabawan, but he apparently fouled Gonzalez.
That was a good defensive stop though for Jamil. Could have, you know, just stayed away from it, but he went in to challenge that shot, and that looked all ball, at least from what I saw.
Are we going to see a challenge? Yes.
Yeah, I think they're going to challenge this.
Coach Augie Gumatay will make use of this time as well to talk to his team. They're on the verge of getting their biggest win in this season, coming off of their biggest win before this matchup versus Pangasinan. We'll take a break.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. There was no foul, resulting to a jump ball.
Wow, that was such a big-time challenge by Coach Ogie Gumatay. It's a block after all by Jamil Gabawan.
Yeah.
And now they will have possession.
And a chance to further up this lead. And so far, we were discussing off air, it's the free throws and the points in the paint that's been the difference in this match, all in favor of Bataan. +9 on free throw makes and a +10 on points in the paint.
Back with Tutoy Ramirez. Under 4 minutes, they're up by 5. Screen by Ramos. Ramirez against Gonzalez. 8 on the shot clock. Ramirez still at it. Adrian Ramirez will score. How about the confidence of that young man?
Didn't we just talk about it earlier? Okay lang yan. Keep going at it.
That's 13 points for Tutoy Ramirez, 10 in the second half. And the lead is back up to 7. Gab Banal, this is big. No good. Ball tapped away. Oh, great effort by Dom Vera.
Yeah. That was actually very dangerous, but it's a good thing that it fell into the hands of the Risers.
Now Mitchell Minus will be returning.
Need a stop here if they are Huskers.
Ramirez continuing to attack. He dribbled the ball off of his foot.
Now twice we've seen Ramirez right now trying to do it on the left side of the floor. He feels he's got advantage foot speed on this side than it is on the right.
Timeout, Coach Eric Gonzalez. 79-72, 3 minutes remaining. Considering how the Bataan Risers have played in their last 2 outings, this looks to be a manageable schedule for them.
That's right.
I mean, we give respect to Negros, QC, and Iloilo. They're all around the 8th to the 10th spots in their respective playoff races. But Bataan recently beat Pangasinan, and now they're up by 7 with 3 minutes to go against the number 1 seed in the South Division, Quezon Huskers.
That's right. And so, you know, if you're Iloilo, Negros, and Quezon, you can't take this team lightly right now. Lalo na if you've got a chance for that 8th and final spot in the playoffs.
By the way, after those 3 games, Bataan will have their last game in the season back at home against the Abra Weavers, as that is a costly turnover off of a timeout for the Huskers.
Well, Gab was telling LJ to cross the ball half line muna before you pass it to me. And so he wasn't ready to receive that pass yet.
Quezon will go taller. Minerva checks in for LJ. Here's Robbie Darang onto Mitchell Minus, playing his career game in the MPBL.
Yeah.
Ramirez, he's been big time in the second half. Up top to Robbie, 9 on the shot clock. Darang attacks. Robbie lost the ball, but he was fouled. Fidel Fuentes, though, wants a challenge.
That right side of the floor, where you see a step-up screen by Ramirez for Minus, that's the tandem on that side of the floor, sa kabila. Yun ang nagiging unang punto ng pag-atake nila sa offense. And so you have to be mindful of that. With that post continuing to be open, you know, it's going to be a really good finish for Mitch.
We just saw a successful challenge from Coach Ogie Gumatay. Let's see if Coach Eric would achieve the same thing.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. There was no foul. Ball possession goes to the Quezon Huskers.
So it is successful as well for Coach Eric Gonzalez. It's the same thing. A reversal in terms of the foul called, and then possession goes to the team that challenged. A clean strip by Judel Fuentes, who will now bring the ball down as he works with Simon Sandagon, RJ Minerva, Cyrus Torres, and Gab Banal. 2.5 minutes to go. Quezon looking to avoid their 4th loss in their campaign. 9 on the shot clock. That's a foul by Jamil Gabawan.
And no matter what happens, every time you have that conversion on that ball involving Judel Fuentes, they're switching, no matter what. You know, we'll just recover later on. The idea is to stop Judel Fuentes, push them up high, and then when he puts the ball on the floor, maybe that's the time you can switch.
Gabawan has fouled out. Fuentes with a miss from the stripe. Let's see his free throw shooting. Judel Fuentes is 2 out of 3 from the line. Make it 2 out of 4, but he got the ball back. Judel, leaner, yes! Naibawi.
Napailing siya. Sabi niya, pareho lang naman yung distance. Hindi ko na-shoot yung dalawa.
He's quite lucky that he had a teammate tap that ball back to him.
That's right.
So Fuentes now has 22 points in 22 minutes of play. It's a 5-point lead for the Risers. It's a very interesting last 6 games for Coach Eric Gonzalez and the rest of the Huskers. They will go back home to take on Nueva Ecija. Then it's Muntinlupa on September 5. Back home again after the All-Star Day against Davao Occidental. And then back home again to take on Balti Baltazar in Pampanga. After that, it's Marikina and South Cotabato to wrap up the season for these Huskers. Jeff Santos, short. These last 2 minutes are brought to you by GameX. Nice escape. Basket and one for Robbie Darang. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX.
It's with the scramble defense that Huskers are getting beat right now. Live turnover, offensive rebound, and a strong finish. And lalo na going left side yon. It's easy basket for Robbie Darang. He's used to it.
Sandagon has fouled out. Now we go back to Mika.
At 25, Robbie Darang's second season with Bataan is turning out to have a good end, enjoying their last few games while improving his facilitating as a point guard. Something he didn't think he could do much against one of the best facilitators of the league and his idol, Hesed Gabo. Sabi niya, grabe hindi ko akalain magiging ganun ako ka-competitive against Kuya Hesed. Today, he faced more big names, but this time with the confidence of a much improved point guard. Migs, Coach Mike.
That really has been the theme.
Yes.
Not just in the team aspect, but individually as well for these Bataan Risers. Mitchell Minus is a clear example. Apparently, Robbie Darang as well. It's a nice story with him and Hesed Gabo. Now it's LJ Gonzalez in front of him.
Well, these guys have actually risen to the challenge that's in front of them. I mean, these last 2 games, Pangasinan and now Quezon, those are not lightweight teams. Kargado yung mga yan. And for these guys to respond, considering how they been almost the entire season speaks highly of how these guys have responded to the call.
And hopefully they'll be able to carry it over to next season.
Yes, that's right.
Si Robbie ba may taon pa yan sa Diliman?
I think last na niya yung last year.
Okay.
This year, that was the last one. It was actually the farewell season for Franz Diaz and Robbie Darao.
Okay.
Bonus free throw.
France is CEU.
Yes.
Nagpa-draft na rin naman itong si Robbie Darang after all.
Right.
There's the bonus. In and out. Rebound. Mitchell
wow.
Minus. That's number 14 for him. Minus tried to shake off Gabanal.
And once again, that's that combo right there. Same side of the floor.
Ramirez short on his 3. Rebound Fuentes. They're down by 7. 100 seconds remaining.
Huskers still have time. They have enough shooters to cut this down.
Fuentes. Gonzalez onto Cyrus Torres. Catch and fire. And that bounces out. Good tap by Banal. Gonzalez, lefty layup. Still no good.
Wow. Makeable shots.
It's a steal though. Gonzalez for 2. Bataan ought to be careful here. 10 points for LJ Gonzalez.
I say they're advancing this ball to the front court. You don't want to miss things from the back if you're the Risers.
That was turnover number 15 for the Risers, who actually turned the ball over. Second worst in the league
Right.
at 16 per outing.
That's right.
So they're going to have to be more careful in the next play, especially against LJ Gonzalez and the rest of these Huskers. 1:14 to go, 81-76. Presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fans of the game, just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki. The Avenus, oras na para magmotor. The time remaining is 1:14 here in Caloocan for Quezon and Bataan. It is 81-76 in favor of the Risers, who have been in control since midway through the first quarter. Quezon at some point tied the ball game up, but Bataan just continued to have their answers, especially coming from Tutoy Ramirez and Mitchell Minus.
That's right. And yun yung dalawang nando sa same side of the floor that we were talking about, right? Every time on that offensive setup. Oh, interestingly, they try to bring it from the backcourt.
Almost another turnover. There's a foul, which means free throws again for Mitchell Minus.
And that was interesting.
That was risky.
That's right. We understand that the defense of Quezon from the back could be a challenge. And they almost got them, you know.
So Mitchell goes back to the stripe. He's 11 out of 13 from the line tonight. A career high 31 points and 15 rebounds. The first one is good for Mitchell.
Kalmado.
Hindi ko alam kung nakabuti ba sa kanya yung ankle sprain niya. Because right now, he has been on a different level.
Yeah.
2 made free throws, 33 points in 26 minutes of play.
And his shot release from the free throw looks really comfortable. I mean, the flick of the arm, everything. It looks real good.
It's back up to a 7-point advantage for the Bataan Risers. Let's see what Coach Eric Gonzalez has for us. We'll try to listen in.
Mag-inbound. Ito gagawin natin, ha? Eden. Ito mangyayari. LJ. Kahit nakazone to, ha? Eden. Cyrus. RJ. Ito mangyayari. Kahit nakazone naman. LJ. Lahat kayo magaganyanan dyan. LJ. Backpick. RJ! RJ! Tumanong ka na! Judel, gusto ko makatira ka rito. Sai! LJ! Backpick mo si LJ. LJ, lap! Cyrus dito. Maliwanag. Shot! Pagbigay, step in. Pag wala, balik ko kay Cap. 2-1 sila. 3-1-3, 1-2-3.
Well, no surprises right there. You're going to go for Jadel first. And then all the other options would come in. Cyrus might be that second guy that was mentioned. So there will be back picks in place and to set up shooters on their spots on the floor.
Cabanal inbounds. They go to Cyrus Torres. Up top, he will shoot. In and out. Battle for the rebound. It ends up with Jadel, and Fuentes will score.
He still got time.
24 points for Fuentes. The lead is 5. Minus bringing it down against LJ Gonzalez. It's Robbie Darang. 55 seconds. Robbie's in trouble. Darang unable to bounce it off, straight out of bounds. Forward to Jadel. Fuentes with some footwork. No bounce. Ball tapped away in favor of the Risers.
That little fumble at that moment changed everything on that attack by Jadel Fuentes. He had that lane. They still got time though. This is just a 2-possession game with 42 left on the clock.
Again, Bataan will be pressured by these Quezon Huskers. Darang will inbound.
Now they're asking for a review since that's under 2 minutes. That's what they're saying.
And the referees will do it.
Right.
We'll let them sort this one out. It's practically a timeout as well for two coaches. And Coach Ogie Gumatay will draw up a press break for the Risers.
But you see that play perfectly ran. Flare screen for LJ. Screener goes up top, which happens to be Cyrus. He just took a free shot.
Just went in and out.
Yeah.
That has been the case for Cyrus Torres in the fourth quarter, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, it was a quick review for our referees. Naging challenge pa.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful.
So hindi lang siya yung usual review. It was an actual challenge. So it was tapped away by RJ
Minerva. Yeah.
Here's the press break. Let's see if it will work.
Watch out for Robbie to run the other way.
Darang looking for a teammate.
Yeah.
Almost a steal. But it is a turnover. So Quezon will get possession. 42 seconds remaining.
I was thinking when Robbie gets that ball, he's going to get the pass back. Wow.
Baseline inbound for Jadel Fuentes. The lead is still 5. LJ Gonzalez for 3. Short. Banal tried to chase it down, but the ball went out of bounds. And we're back to that press.
And they're going to call another timeout. They've been inbounding from the backcourt. I think this time around, they're going to move it to the front.
36 seconds to go. Bataan with a 5-point cushion. And trying to listen in to Coach Ogie Gumatay. He's been fired up about being able to bring down the ball safely.
Santos. Ramos. Okay. Minus. Shut open. Hindi lang yan. Jen. Tingin Jen Ramos. Okay. Santos. Ramos, please. Open, Please, go on the bola. 14 seconds. Stop it. Baka tumabol, Let's go.
So they're inbounding from the sideline.
Yes.
Shot clock is at 14 for the Bataan Risers.
It sure sounded like there's going to be some screen action. Either it's a screen or a stagger that's going to involve Santos and Ramos. Maybe for a Robbie Darang acceptance of the ball inside on the inbound.
Ramirez will pass that ball. Hopefully safely onto a teammate. There it is, onto Robbie Darang. 12 on the shot clock. Robbie double teamed. Good defense by Quezon. There's a hold though. A foul by the Huskers.
Well, Robbie was in trouble that time. He was in the trap area. Couldn't put the ball on the floor. And just Torres and LJ really on him.
Quezon was like 1 second away from forcing the turnover.
That's right. And he used up his dribble too.
Ayun.
Yeah, that was the hold right there.
Robbie Darang at the line. The first one is good. He has 8 points with 5 assists to his name.
Still a 2-possession game here.
Darang is 4 out of 5 from the stripe. 29 seconds. Quezon still has 1 timeout remaining. That's good for Robbie. Huskers to play it fast. Down by 7. Gonzalez attacking. He was fouled. Basket and 1.
That's right. And so that downhill action involving LJ, how many times have we seen that in this game? Him going to that left side of the floor and getting there, but this time he makes it.
It's 12 points now for LJ Gonzalez. He only had 2 by halftime. So once again, he's living up to his name as Mr. Clutch for the Quezon Huskers. Gonzalez unable to convert. Offensive rebound. Minerva converts. It is a 1-possession game.
Yep.
Bataan has to play this safely. 17 seconds. Ramirez brings it down. Tutoy back up to Robbie Darang. 11 seconds. Still no foul. Robbie zigzagging. Back to Ramirez. Now it's Robbie Darang. 5 seconds.
Oh, steal.
It's a steal. A chance to tie. Fuentes will do it. Judel. No good. And Bataan will get their biggest win in their season. What a performance by these risers.
Boy, you gotta tip your hats off to the Quezon Huskers too. I mean, that was some final effort to try and equalize this at 85.
It was one last steal. Let's see it. There you go. Gabanal initiated it. Forward pass to Del Fuentes. Who else would you want to shoot that ball for you?
I agree. Just a tad short. Just a little bit more lift on that rise to that attempt. That looked sure straight.
And so, the Bataan Risers have put yet another exclamation point onto their streak. It is 3 straight wins for them. Their last game was supposed to be their biggest win, and yet they top it off.
But you know what? If this happened early in the seasons, I'm sure the other teams would look differently at the Risers.
Of course.
Right.
This best player of the game is brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. Undoubtedly.
Yeah, without a doubt.
The man who played his career game, Mitchell Minus, is back in the MPBL. 33 points and 15 rebounds in 27 minutes of play. This final score of 85-82 is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Mika, take it away.
Maraming salamat. Kasama ko ngayon ng Daily Fantasy at very emotional best player of this game. Walang iba kung hindi si Mitchell Minus. Mitchell, unstoppable ka buong game, lalo na nung fourth quarter, nung kailangan nyo mag-close out. Sinubukan nila humabol pero lagi kang may sagot with your career high of 33 points and 15 rebounds.
Siguro sa akin, trinabaho ko talaga, and since galing ako sa injury, gustong-gusto ko talaga manalo and maglaro. And siguro dahil na din sa team effort and sa kagustuhang manalo, galing din kami sa dalawang sunod na panalo. Ayun, medyo mataas ang confidence ng team.
Napakadaming nag-step up nitong nakaraang dalawang laro nyo. Si Robbie, si Yves, si James, si Tutoy, si Jeff. Ano masasabi mo na 4 na lang yung natitiran yung laro at napakaganda ng performance nyo?
Yun nga, siguro nakukuha na namin yung system ng team, system ni coach, nagtitiwala lang kami doon. Gawin lang namin kung ano yung role namin sa team. Yun lang naman.
Maraming salamat, Mitchell. Meron ka ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Siyempre, gusto batiin family ko sa Ilocos, sa probinsya, mga tropa ko, kaibigan ko. And siyempre sa coach namin, Coach Goody Ilagan, and sa Kamaya Coach, and sa family din ni Coach, yun lang. Sa girlfriend ko, kasama ko, and sa lahat. Sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa Bataan, yun lang.
Right, maraming salamat. Once again, our Daily Fantasy best player of this game is Mitchell Minus. Sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. Migs and Coach Mike.
A career night for Mitchell Minus with utmost efficiency. Only 2 misses on the line and 2 misses from the field. And so Negros, Quezon City, Iloilo, and Abra ought to be very careful with these Bataan Risers moving forward. Congratulations to them. And up next, we shall present to you another home court defense for Caloocan Batang Kankalu as they take on the Rizal Golden Coolers. These two teams are right next to each other, number 7 and number 8 respectively in the North Division playoff picture. Thank you for joining us. For Mika Abisames and Coach Mike Perez, my name is Mix Gomez at magbabalik ko po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.